Hey guys, it is Saturday and this is our third weekly vlog in our 2018 weekly vlog series. Today's major task is sadly taking down Christmas. We're both sad to take it down and we could leave it up, but I'm tired of dusting around it and we want to get it put up before we go to Disney so we just don't have it hanging over us to do, but we love it. We could leave it up for like another month, I think. Here's the 2 boxes for the trees and some other boxes. Say goodbye to the village, Charlie Brown. And goodbye to the Charlie Brown tree. And goodbye to Mickey and Minnie at the bottom. And here's one final musical interlude from the Peanuts.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Gonna miss these guys. We've still been playing them pretty much daily, so gonna miss having them here. Alright, the poor trees are barren. Well, one tree's gone. He already took the other one down.
Still hasn't made it to the attic yet, though.
And we've got random things to put up, but we're getting there. The biggest job is putting all the ornaments from this tree in their respective boxes because a lot of them are collectible, and that is done.
I disagree. The biggest job is for me to get that big tree up to the attic stairs.
Well, I don't have to do that, so it's not a big job for me. Alright, so here's the aftermath with the tree gone. So it was in that back corner and we had the table moved forward so it wasn't centered anymore under the light fixture. It's so weird how barren everything looks once you take Christmas down. You get used to all the stuff being here, but here's what our living room now looks like without the village and without Charlie Brown and everything and without the tree. Looks empty, but now we can actually walk to our dining room that way, which we couldn't when the tree was there. And Brian is about to clean the floors. I know it's hard to see on the film, but there's little bits of Christmas tree everywhere and styrofoam, so he's gonna vacuum. Now that poor Brian has hauled all of Christmas upstairs, we are blessed that we have a walk-in attic, not a pull-down attic, but he still has to carry it up to the 2nd floor.
Well, and also have to dump under that awkward...
We should have fixed that a long time ago. He's talking about this place in our attic that it's just really awkward.
It's a backbreaker. Let's put that.
It really is. But anyway, he then cleaned all the floors in the house. Now he is making his curry. It's a vegetable chickpea and potato curry.
Looking forward to that. All right, here's an update on what's going on with the potato vegetable curry. Here's all the ingredients I'm sticking in here. It's diced tomatoes, coconut milk, of course. I actually picked this spice up right here, especially for this recipe, garam masala. I don't know. There's a lot of spices in there. Cumin, of course, the curry powder, and the cayenne, and of course some chickpeas. And I'm throwing in mine broccoli. It doesn't call for broccoli, but I love broccoli. And also have a ton of these bags in the freezer, so I might as well use them. And mixed vegetables, and here's all the spice mix in there along with fresh ginger. And then here is onion and garlic, which I'll saute, and then after I do that I'll throw everything in a pot and let it simmer for a little bit, and then we'll have some goodness. It actually tastes really good, has a lot of spice in it, which I love. It's the perfect amount of spice actually. This is like a big pot. It is going to take a lot of bowls, but that's good because I like to reheat it later in the week. And just so you can get a sense of how much that made, so that's 8 bowls, and these are 2-cup bowls, so that's a lot of food. Alright, so I'm done with the potato curry, and now I'm moving on to the next recipe. It's just a quick dip I actually saw in a Costco of all things magazine. It sounded simple, it looks tasty, so it's just yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, but this is the only yogurt I could find. Dill, Dijon mustard, green onions, and I'm going to put a splash of lemon in there, and there's the dill and Dijon in there already. So I'll add all these in, mix it up, and let's see what it tastes like. If anyone's curious about the recipe for the Greek yogurt dill dip from Costco, there it is right there. You can just put pause on there and write it down if you wanted to. So on this ad, it's funny, it says, "Are you ready for the big game?" I guess I am, because I have my dip. Unfortunately, I got no idea when the big game is or what it is.
Alright, Brian's going to use me as his guinea pig to taste his dip.
And we already noticed it's kind of runny because of the fact we didn't use Greek.
Yeah,
But,
Greek. Well, he couldn't find organic Greek yogurt, and
Yeah.
I would rather have organic yogurt. So.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Is that really good?
I really like that.
Let me show what it looks like in the bowl, the finished product after it's mixed up.
And that's really healthy too. Everything in it's healthy.
So you see all the greens in there. Good stuff.
Yeah. So while Brian has been down here cooking, I have been upstairs editing our September Disney World trip videos. So we went the week of Labor Day and it was so hot, it's hard to express how hot it was. You'll hear us mention multiple times in the videos how hot it was, but it really was like, we actually go that time of the year almost every year, at least for a few days. We don't always go for a week, but we at least usually do like Labor Day weekend or something around that time. I don't think we've ever felt it quite that. It was the sticky, like the level of humidity. And now in hindsight, I wonder if it was Irma, because we actually had to leave early because of Irma that week. So I wonder if because I know here in North Carolina, right before a hurricane, it gets stifling, the humidity gets stifling, even if it's not that hot. And so now I'm wondering if that's why that week was sort of exceptionally miserable, because it really was. And then on top of it, I literally woke up at 2 a.m. before we left for that trip. We were gonna fly out that morning with a horrible sore throat. The first 2 days weren't bad. I had a bad sore throat, but I felt fine otherwise. But then I got like the full-blown cold and I even had a fever. So the rest of the trip I was dragging. So I'm also noticing as I edit the videos, it's kind of painful to edit because you can hear that you're sick, like you hear your voice and you know you're sick and you remember it. But also a lot of the videos, a lot of times we have 2 videos for each day, and I actually don't do that to drag them out. I actually do that because I don't like them much over 15 minutes. I think that's kind of a sweet spot. Don't get me wrong, we have videos well over 15 and we have some under 15, but I kind of shoot for that. These are turning, after the first 2 days, they're starting to turn into 1 day, 1 video because I was so sick that I didn't get a lot filmed. So that's what I've been doing with my morning while Brian's been cooking.
All right, now my cooking has led up to lunchtime. So for lunch, I'm actually gonna cook veggie tacos. So we got some chopped onion. I know it's a lot of onion, but I love onion. Some garlic, some seasoning, and this is like veggie grounds, taco shells. I'm gonna kick it up a little with some cayenne pepper.
Here's the end result of Brian's tacos with the vegetarian meat. And what's sad is we're having to do this in shifts because I need that pan. We only have one. We use this Green Life pans. They're like healthy non-stick pans. And we only have one of this size, which I need because I'm actually making quesadillas with real meat. So I am actually making quesadillas, and I had some pre-made ground beef that had sort of Mexican spices. I make that in a big batch and freeze it, and it's grass-fed beef. Then these are those tortillas you've seen me use before. They're Siete brand, they're gluten-free, and I also had a little grass-fed cheese, and I'm gonna put some salsa, some green onions, and some guacamole on top. Here's the end result of these are gluten-free quesadillas with beef and cheese. Looks tasty. Hey guys, it's Sunday now. And yesterday was crazy busy for Brian. I think today is gonna be crazy busy for me. All I really did yesterday was help take Christmas down, and then the rest of the day I ended up doing video editing because I am so behind on the Disney videos. And as you guys know, we have an upcoming Disney trip, and I like to get way past that trip with editing. It'd be nice to do one every week and just keep a nice steady pace, but life doesn't work that way. Things come up, and if I do that, I'll end up behind or missing a week, which I don't want, so I like to stay ahead. So I ended up spending most of the day editing, which means today I need to do the things I didn't do yesterday. I try to get all my chores done on Saturday, so Sunday is relaxing, and unfortunately, I'm flip-flopping this week. I mean, it's not like I wasn't doing anything, I just didn't do normal chore stuff. So today, unfortunately, I'm gonna be doing laundry, grocery shopping, some cooking, you know, just the usual stuff. I'm gonna make a meatloaf that's gluten-free. It's not my recipe, so I don't like going step by step when I'm not the one who owns it, so I will put a link in the show notes to the recipe. but it's used, you basically use mushrooms as the binder, and I can't tell a difference. The only thing I don't do that the recipe calls for is make my own ketchup. I actually found a really clean organic ketchup, so I use that ketchup rather than making my own from scratch to save time, but otherwise I pretty much follow the recipe exactly. Oh, and I leave out the hot red pepper flakes because if you guys know me, I can't do spicy stuff. But otherwise I pretty much follow the recipe. It's really good. And that might be the only thing I cook today, and then I gotta make my salads for the work week for lunch. But that's probably gonna be it for today for cooking. That'll be enough. Here's the meatloaf. It's been in the oven for 15 minutes, then you take it back out, put the ketchup on, put it back in. The recipe says for 40 more minutes. This is the one thing I do change. I do it for another hour because the first time I made this, it was still pink in the middle, and I know tons of people eat pink ground beef and that's fine. I do not like pink. I actually like my steaks medium rare, but I don't like ground beef that's not cooked all the way through. But an hour cooks it fine, and it doesn't get too overcooked or anything. It still tastes good. And then of course I'm in process making my salads for lunch this week. Here's what the finished meatloaf looks like, and what I do is I just slice it up and freeze it because, as you guys know, Brian does not eat meat other than seafood, so this will just be leftover meals for me, which is really convenient. In case you're curious, that meatloaf made 8 servings, good sized servings, and one's not pictured here because I'm gonna eat it for lunch today, but it's really easy. I can't express how easy it is. That's one of those very low prep time. The only thing you even have to chop, or I actually use a food processor to chop up the mushrooms, but it's mushrooms, onions, and garlic. Everything else is just spices. Hey guys, it's Monday, and I went back to work today. Brian did not have to work today. Lucky Brian. It's funny, I think schools are closed and a lot of companies are closed, but the traffic coming home today was really bad for some reason. I have no idea why. And I don't even drive home during traditional rush hour because I work a really early shift, so that was bizarre. It took me about twice as long to get home as it normally does. Update, it seems like things are finally moving forward with the repairs at our beach house. It's hard to tell since we're remote. We know that they've taken up the old floors now. We don't know how much longer it's going to be before they finish everything. So at least that's moving forward though. It's exciting to finally see progress. Hey guys, it is Wednesday, and sorry I didn't get on yesterday, but we had a person that sells blinds or window treatments come over to give us some estimates, and she was here 2 hours after work yesterday. No idea it would take that long. And by the time she left, I barely had time to like eat, watch a tiny bit of TV, and go to bed. We are getting some new window treatments in our house because the ones we have just literally disintegrated from sun and age. They're not that old, they're like 10 years old, but they're in windows that get like constant sun, and they're literally like falling apart like powder on the floor. So it's time for new window treatments. But anyway, today I am working from home because it's snowing, and I know you guys in the north are gonna laugh, but people here cannot drive in the snow. I don't drive great in the snow. I'm not saying I'm like an expert, but the main thing is to go slow, and people here don't go slow, they go fast. And they run into you. It's really scary being on the road when it's snowing, not because I don't know what I'm doing, but because other people drive way too fast. For one thing, we tend to get icy snow here, and it's not the same as the packed powder snow to drive in. And also, my car is frankly really bad in the snow. It's got a high center of gravity and a short wheelbase. So I just don't chance it since I can work from home. I figure I might as well. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the snow. It just started falling, and they're saying we're gonna get 2 to 4 inches. I would be shocked if we get that because it's above freezing right now, so I don't see how it's gonna stick, but we'll see. I've zoomed in a bit just so you can see it better. I don't know why, but snow never shows up great unless it's really giant flakes on the camera. But it really is coming down at a pretty good clip. It's just not sticking because, like I mentioned, it's 37 degrees right now. So they said it's going to actually get colder today, so maybe it will stick eventually. But right now we have 0 accumulation. It's just coming down really fast right now. I'm now upstairs and you can really see it landing on the roof, and sort of see what it's like falling. We can't even see or I can't, at my height, I can't even see our grass from the first floor because we're so high up, but from the second floor I can. And then there's the creek behind our house in the woods. So it's definitely coming down. We definitely have full-on snow with accumulation now. As you can see, everything's turning white. Looks very pretty. It's now early afternoon and it has been snowing pretty much all day. I think it started around 8 or 9 this morning and it's been going non-stop. For a while it didn't stick, but as you can see by our rail, now it's sticking, and by the outdoors. This is, for this area, this is a big snow. I know you guys up north are gonna think that's funny, but we are in the south, so this is pretty huge. We usually don't see this kind of accumulation. We usually see a light dusting at the most. I mean, in my lifetime, we have had a couple of really big snows, but they're very unusual. It's about 3 p.m. now and the snow is still coming down. I think it's gotten a little bit lighter, but still coming down pretty good, and we've got a lot of snow. I mean, for us, I know, again, people up north are going to think this is funny, but this is a lot of snow. We usually get mostly ice and freezing rain, so we're just not used to this level of actual fluffy white snow accumulating. Good morning, it is Thursday, also known as Friday Eve. It's gonna be another work from home day for me because we got 7.5 inches of snow. That is probably the second largest amount of snow we've gotten in my entire life here. So that's a lot for here. We got 22 inches one year. Can't remember which year it was. I was an adult. And that shut down everything for like a week, because it was also bitterly cold, so it didn't melt. This should actually melt substantially. I mean, not necessarily on the ground, but the roads, I would think we get clear after today, because it's gonna get above freezing today, and I think it's supposed to be sunny. We'll see, we'll see. But definitely won't be going in today to work, but I can work from home, which is nice. The sun is starting to come up, so I'm upstairs now and you can really see the snow from here. And I'm hoping to go out when it warms up a bit. It got down to the teens last night, and build a little snowman on our deck. That's a tradition of mine. If we get even a tiny bit of snow, I like to build a little bitty snowman. I do have to admit, the sun looks really pretty coming up. And I know it's probably not going to show up, but where the sun is hitting the snow, it really is glittering like crystal. This is definitely not the kind of snow we normally get in the south. We get really icy snow, and it normally doesn't sparkle like that. I wanted to mention, if you follow us on social media, you've seen it there, but I know some of you don't. We have opened a Spreadshirt shop to sell t-shirts with our logo and a couple of other designs. I will try to put those designs up while I'm talking right now on the screen so you can see what they look like. And it'll look like when you go to the shop, there may be 4 with a certain design, but if you keep scrolling down, there's even more options. And I tried to include as many colors as possible, as many sizes. So once you actually click on a t-shirt, you can usually change the color between many options, change the size. There's women's cut, there's men's cut, there's one kid's t-shirt, and there's a mug. So feel free to go out there and check those out. I will put a link to the shop in the show notes below from here on out. So every video from here forward that we put out should have that link to the shop if you want to go and look at it later. And I thought I'd show you, I got one t-shirt so far and I have another one on order that's not here yet, so I'll show it next week, but I thought I'd show you the one that I already got. This is the first shirt that I ordered, and I wanted to order one to check the quality before I put it up for sale. And I'm very pleased with the quality, and please ignore the wrinkles. That is because of me. It did not come that way. I washed it and crammed it into a drawer that was too full, so it got wrinkled, but they came in a very nice condition. I really love it. I think it turned out great. The thing I wanted to show this shirt for, and I'll show the other one I'm getting next week, our arms blend in on the darker colors. They're definitely there, but they blend in. So I would recommend getting a lighter color. It's totally up to you, of course, but if you want the arms to show up, I would get a lighter colored shirt. Otherwise, super pleased. I'm pleased with the quality. The material is very soft. It feels great. And like I said, they have a lot of different options. This was a women's cut, but it was normal cut. They also have 2 women's cuts that we have on our site that are slimmer fit. So if you prefer that slimmer fit, they have that as well. But this is the normal women's cut. And like I said, we've got men's, we've got hoodies, we've got all different kinds of things. There's even a women's flowy shirt. Like if you like that really loose fit that's popular, there's one of those as well. So we hope you like our designs, and Spreadshirt is having a sale coming up. And that's why I wanted to mention it this week. I was going to wait and put all this in next week's vlog, but the sale will already be going on and probably over before next week's vlog goes out. So I wanted to mention that. They have a sale January 24th through the 28th. It's 20% off 2 or more products. So you'd have to buy at least 2 products to get the sale. And the code is LOVE and the number 2. So LOVE2. And I will put that up here on the screen while I'm talking as well, the coupon code. So check out our link below if you're interested, and we hope you like the designs. I thought I'd bring you guys out on the screen porch. It is cold. It is still 22. I keep waiting for the temperature to go up enough so I can stop our water from dripping. It's cold. But the birdies have started eating the food again over here, and I'm about to build a small snowman when I take my lunch break. It's in the afternoon now, and it has finally gotten above freezing. So I went out and built my snowman, and it was actually quite hard. The snow, I guess it's because it's been so cold, the snow is powdery and it wouldn't stick together, which again is pretty unusual for the South. But as you can see, it is melting to some degree because it's falling off the trees now. That's gonna wrap up this week's weekly vlog, but we will be back next week with more. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Until our next adventure.